What's up, guys? This is my first episode of LazyTalk, and today we are going to be talking about small YouTube channels. Now, this is a bit ironic considering, my first video and nobody knows jack about me. But anyway, I'm hoping that will change. I hope, if you see this, you decide to stick around. And, yeah, so anyway, let's get into the first video. Okay, anyways. Now, I've actually been YouTubing for a few years now. This is not my first channel. But I've come to the conclusion, and obviously, you're going to notice that being a small channel on YouTube is not an easy thing to do. You're not getting like any views, maybe you might get like, your parents to watch it and they'll say, "Oh, that's such a great video. Keep up the good work." Well, we all know that's probably crap. But anyways, now as a small channel, every single view you're going to get is going to make a difference, like a big difference to you. And I know that for a fact out of experience, because like I said, I've had YouTube for a few years now, and I know the feeling. And I'm not okay. I'm just gonna point this out that I'm not saying that the bigger channels, they got like hundreds of thousands, millions subscribers, whatever. I'm not saying they're not grateful for every view, every subscriber they get. And I'm not saying they don't deserve it, because they do. They put in a lot of work and effort into these videos. But the smaller channels are going to appreciate it a lot more. And here's why. Because their view count is so small that one view, that's it. They're going to notice that, and they're going to be very thankful for it. And same goes for subscribers. So that, like, small channels, if you watch their videos, that means a lot to them. And also for comments, if you comment, it can be literally anything on their video, whether it can be good stuff, bad stuff, although hopefully not just pure hate, because nobody needs that. But they will respond to like everything, if that, like, they're gonna see it. They're not getting like thousands and hundreds or whatever comments on their videos per day. Every single one they're going to see. And for anyone who knows what they're doing, that they know interaction is a key thing for starting out. Well, not just really for starting out, for any channel, it can be big or small, it doesn't matter. But they're going to see it and they're going to reply, and it's really, it helps to build the community kind of for the channel, which in turn will help your subscriber base. So basically, what I want you to do, I want you to see if you can find like small channels that are like that are doing good. I'm not saying go and like watch the guys doing like hypercam stuff, because that stuff's really not good. And we don't want to see those videos. Got a little hypercam thing up in the top here, and they got like the crap audio quality, all that bad stuff you don't want to see in a video. Because there are actually a lot of good channels that just nobody really knows about them. I've seen people that are doing like better jobs than people with thousands upon thousands of subscribers, and they have like 20 or something. Like it's crazy. But there's so many small channels competing out there that it's hard to notice a lot of the good ones. But what I want you to do, I want you to try and find a small YouTube channel that they're just kind of starting out. Maybe I'd like maybe even less than 1,000 subscribers. Let's go with that. Maybe even less than 500, because really the smaller the better. But the important thing is look for any ounce of quality. I'm not saying the video has to be absolutely perfect, because if you're just starting out, you're not going to know what you're doing. You're not really 100% sure where you're going with this. This is when you're going to experiment until you find what captures your audience. And it's not until then that you're going to kind of stick with it. But until then, you're going to be, I think, in the beginning stages, you're going to be a lot more creative, a lot more, willing to take risks, because since, nobody's watching you yet anyways, you might as well just give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? Nobody watches it. Well, that's not really a big thing, because, you put effort into it, but at least that shows you haven't exactly lost anything. In fact, you've gained, because then hey, the people don't really like that, so I'm not going to do that anymore. Let's move on to the next idea. And that process can just keep going until eventually someone's going to notice you, and you're only going to grow from there. And you know what? So many people, their channel was so small, And then a bit like a big channel, they noticed their videos, they watched it, they liked it, and you said, you know what, I like this guy, I'm gonna, tell my viewers about him, and then the bigger channel's viewers are gonna go to the small guy and say, you know what, I like this guy too, I'm gonna subscribe to him, I want to see more. And then from there you're just gonna grow even bigger, and then that it only gets better from there. So really, like the small channels, I think, basically recap, like they're a lot more grateful, I think, because they know when their videos have gained even one view. And again, I know that for a fact because I remember the last channel that I was on before I kind of got screwed over a bit, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Like, I knew every time I got a comment, every time I got one view even, that meant something to me. Even like the dislikes on my videos, which I didn't get too many, but you know what? I consider the dislike as constructive criticism. When I get a dislike, I think, you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe I could do better in the next video. And you know what? I do. And you know what? The next video, it doesn't get as many. I've never had in all of my years on YouTube, I've never had more than 3 dislikes on a video. And my channels weren't that big, but they weren't like puny either. Like I had a decent viewer base, so I thought that was a good thing. I was proud of what I was putting out. Like I don't have the best equipment or anything. Like I don't have like the 5-star quality camera, HD, all that crap. But honestly, you don't need it. Like you can see there's so many tutorials and such that are saying, you know what, use what you have. And I think that's probably the most important tip for people starting out. Like, let's say, you're just making a channel, don't just go out and buy like a new like HD quality camera and then have nobody watch your videos, because that would just be a waste of money. So, I want you right now, look the best as you possibly can. There's a lot of small channels out there, so it's not going to be that hard. Try to find a few that, their videos are good quality. They don't have to be perfect, like I said before, but not terrible either. Maybe leave them a nice comment or a little like, maybe even a dislike. If they're like me, they'll consider that constructive criticism. I know, especially the comments though, that means a lot because that gives them a chance to interact with you, and that when a YouTuber gets to interact with their viewers, that means the world to them, and they would appreciate that opportunity to interact with you. See, you're the viewer, you're what's going to make them who they want to become, because that's how it works. If they're not getting a whole bunch of views, like especially like I get you the whole purpose, you want to do this for fun. But you like to see kind of a little bit of gratitude. You want to see people that are actually watching it. So it would make them feel really good. So try to find some guys to watch that are like really small, and that would be awesome too. Anyways, this is my time. Feel free to leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down, a comment, and until next episode, I will see you guys later.